Welcome to Driven Up's Power Talk. I'm Jasmine Moore.
And I'm Rebecca Heisey. We're two work besties who have spent over a decade learning the ins and outs of sales and marketing.
On this podcast, we discuss all things go-to-market operations, the people, processes, and technologies that make up the engine of a thriving go-to-market function. Let's get to it. Today, we're tackling a challenge that all email marketers will face sooner or later, and that's a database that goes cold. And it's not necessarily because our leads are no longer good. Really, what that means is we're wearing them out. Database fatigue happens when too many messages are being sent to the same audience, and there's no real coordination or rules of engagement. Your engagement tends to drop, and your audience, they lose attention. And that's huge right now because attention spans are at an all-time low, and email boxes are being crowded by the day. So getting and retaining your leads' attention is as hard as ever. And so that's why smarter segmentation is no longer an option, it's essential.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. And one of the biggest culprits is the spray and pray approach. I can't believe we're still talking about this. I feel like this should have been dead years and years and years ago already, but it is. It's still out there.
It's that tactic of sending one message and broadcasting it to your entire database.
Yeah. And I mean, I get it. It's fast, it's easy, but it does not perform. And we've seen it time and time again. So we need to let it go.
It's a fast way to lose trust and lose your engagement.
So the problem with the spray and pray approach is that multiple teams are sending to the same audience without coordination. So like you mentioned earlier, there's no communication going on, and we just keep hitting these people over and over again.
Yeah, and sometimes multiple teams. There's no clear rules or visibility into who sends what when.
Yep. And the contacts are getting overwhelmed, and it's leading to that low engagement and also high unsubscribes, which is never a good thing. You want these people to enjoy what you're sending, or at least feel like it's of value.
Yeah. And what happens is you'll see that your lists become less effective, and it's because your prospects are fatigued and overused. So now that we've covered what's not working, let's talk about how to make this work, how to make your email marketing effective and keep it effective by keeping your database healthy. And I want to start with segmentation. Segmentation should be your first thought when building out an email marketing strategy. So there are three main types of segmentation that I like to focus on. One, behavioral. And this is based off of what your contacts do. What have they done? This could be they attended a webinar, they attended an event, they downloaded an asset. I want you to segment your database into those certain groups of people and automate follow-up campaigns that are relevant to this content. And what this does is it ensures that you're personalizing your outreach and making sure that your content is relevant for your leads. What you're going to do is group your contacts based off of actions that they've done. This could be clicking through a specific email, attending an event, and you want to base that content on those actions so that you're delivering a personalized outreach. And what this does is it keeps your message relevant and makes sure that your leads keep engaging.
The next thing you want to do is make sure that you're sending messaging that is relevant to the stage that they're in. So this way they actually feel like they're getting value from what you're sending them. And the other thing with your content is it actually keeps the content relevant, because you have to make sure that your messaging is tailored to the stage that they're in as well. So it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone kind of thing.
Yeah. And your leads start to feel like, oh, they're talking to me. They know exactly where I'm at in my buyer stage. They're probably not saying that, but like they understand where I'm at. They understand who I am, and they're talking, this message is for me. So I'm going to read it and click through and see what they have to say.
Definitely.
The next segmentation strategy that I want you to focus on is how recent someone has engaged. Focus on those contacts that have engaged within the last 60 to 90 days specifically. This will flux depending on your sales cycle, but I like the 90 days. And for those that haven't engaged within 90 days, you can create a segmented list in your database of those. If you haven't opened, clicked any emails, downloaded anything, or had any interesting moment, if you're using Marketo, put them off to the side. And because what you're going to do is you're going to put them into a cooling off period. You're not going to forget about them, but we want to put them in a cooling off period so that we can strategically re-engage at a later time so that we can start to reintroduce ourselves. Not every contact needs every email. You have to realize that when contacts are not responding, then it's important to give them space. It's kind of like a relationship. Just let them cool off a little bit.
Yeah, that's actually a really good analogy. And just to bounce back on what you said about having the disengagement threshold, it's like if somebody's not texting you back, they're probably trying to send you a signal. So if they're not opening your emails, if they're not clicking on anything over that period of time, they're trying to say, I'm not that interested right now. So, and it's okay. Maybe it's just that they are starting to do research. Maybe they engaged with you before, and now maybe there's just a pause in their buying cycle themselves. So they need a little time, or maybe they're still doing some research. So, don't freak out, but just give them a little space.
Give them some space, pause, and then reassess how you want to approach them. And you can do this very systemically in marketing automation, which is wonderful. You can pause them and then, okay, let's write this campaign or drop them into this pre-written nurture to re-engage with them. What this strategy does is it keeps your sender reputation good because you're only sending your everyday campaigns to those that are engaged. So you'll keep your open and click-through rates healthy. And then for your unengaged audience, you have them off on their own little island, and you're going to send a targeted campaign to those.
Another area you want to focus on is governance. So it's very easy to have multiple campaigns running at once and surprisingly easy to oversend to those contacts. So you want to make sure that you're adding communication limits and ring fencing to your strategy so that it helps to manage the volume and make sure that the right messaging is being prioritized to the right contacts.
And by communication limits, we mean you can set a setting in your marketing automation platform that says you can only email someone twice in 7 days or 3 times within 7 days. And what this does, like Becca said, it limits the volume. And with the ring fencing, you're going to want to prioritize different groups in your database. And so that you make sure that they're getting the messages that you want. So you want to prioritize folks that are maybe warmer or inactive opportunities. You want to prioritize them and making sure that they're getting the right messages, because what happens is oftentimes we have multiple campaigns. We're juggling multiple campaigns, and campaign prioritization is a huge problem for a lot of people. But you want to strategize with your campaign manager because it should always be kind of like a waterfall effect. Like, this is the most important campaign, and then this one, and then this third campaign, and you can manage your database accordingly.
Yeah, but I think the limits, like you mentioned, where you're not sending more than one to one customer, because sometimes those customers can fit multiple buckets that they might fit every campaign.
Right. And so prioritize the campaign so that they get to the top most prioritized campaign.
Yeah. And hopefully they'll engage with that one, and you won't have to send them every other every other waterfall one.
Managing your database and email marketing is not for the weak. Like,
no, it's
real
complex.
It's very complex. You would be surprised. You're going to dynamically segment your database by looking at different types of buyers, where they are in the buying stage or what they've done. You're also going to cool off the part of your database that is unengaged and making sure that you're not hitting them with the same email messages, because this is going to lower your email reputation and lower your overall email engagement rates. And for those that are still engaged, you're going to make sure that you have a governance strategy in place that includes clear communication limits as well as ring fencing strategy with your campaign manager.
And so this isn't just a framework, it's a strategy to keep your database healthy, to make sure that your audience is engaged, and to just make your marketing much more effective.
All right, it's time for coffee talk.
Coffee talk.
What are we talking about today?
All right, we are talking about work perks that flopped.
Oh, okay. Yes, I have a few in mind.
Yeah. All right, you want to kick it off?
Yeah. So first, the big one, and let's talk pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Because everything is like...
There were lots of perks back then.
We're like BC right now. Before COVID, work from home.
Yeah.
Working from home was such a huge deal.
Yeah.
Such a huge perk for us, at least working in B2B tech space.
And some places didn't even offer it at all. It was like definitely a no-go at all.
Yeah, most places did.
Yeah.
It was like unheard of until like COVID essentially. But before COVID, it was kind of given as a perk. Like, hey, you can work from home once a month if you've been with the company for this amount of time. And then if you've been with the company for 2 years, you can do 2 days a month. And I was like, oh, awesome.
Yeah, and you felt like so empowered. Like, yes, like I've been here and you haven't. So like I get to work from home.
But
Yeah.
like then COVID happened and that was a huge flop
Yeah.
because then everyone
Worked from home.
worked from home.
Yeah.
But really then it became a commodity.
Yeah.
Like we're all working from home. You have to do better.
Yeah.
Because this is not a perk anymore.
I
This
know.
is a commodity.
And even when they're trying to get people back into the office, it's like mostly hybrid where they're like, oh,
Yeah.
you just have to come back 2 days a week. Like we're trying to ease you into it. But I don't know. Work from home is like the greatest thing ever. I love it.
And I feel like all of the perks started when the return to office movement started. Like a lot of companies were trying to get folks back in the office.
Yeah.
But we were at that point where you can't really make them come back in the office yet because there was still a pandemic going on. But we wanted you back in the office.
Yeah.
So like, what perks can I give you?
But then, that's where it gets into like, oh, well, we have snacks. And it's like, I have snacks in my kitchen.
Yeah, like free snacks. Like, come on.
I don't care.
Food, we're going to feed you.
No.
Is that a perk? No, that's a flop
Yeah.
because I have food at home.
Yeah.
And then also there's like, oh, you have an on-site fitness center that you can use.
Yeah. But like, no,
still not enough.
Yeah. I still like that I can work out before work and go home and work from home. And I feel like I have more time to like get ready and not have to worry about driving in somewhere or commuting in somewhere, whether it's the train or whatever. And I feel like who wants to work out? Like you still have to get up early. You have to commute farther to get to the gym first before you go to work. So I don't know. I'm not liking it. Yeah. I'm not liking it.
Those are all the flops that I can think of.
The other one I was thinking of, though, is like, what about the unlimited vacation time? How do you feel about that? Is that a perk or not a perk?
It's definitely a perk, but I am very guilty of not taking advantage of it. I feel like I took more vacation when I didn't have unlimited PTO. I don't know why.
Yeah, but I think that's actually what the like statistics are starting to say is like, unlimited vacation, although it seems nice on paper because you're like, yeah, I get unlimited and whatever, but it actually, they say more people take less time. And one thing I think, actually, I feel like when you accrued vacation time, it was more of a perk because even though you generally got less time, if you left a company, they would have to pay you for the time you earned.
Yeah.
And now they don't have to. So like if you literally go 2 years working at a company and don't ever take off because you're just like, I don't know when to take off because I'm so busy, they don't have to pay you for any vacation accrued. So I don't know. I feel like that's not really a perk anymore.
That's a flop of the century.
Yeah.
I think it's probably also that scarcity. Like you're feeling like, okay, if I have 15 days, I need to take them or I'm going to lose them.
Exactly.
So you take them.
Yeah.
But if you have unlimited, you're like, I'll take it when I really
and then you
need it.
don't. And then you don't take it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. People are like, well, I don't know when I have time, but you got to take it.
You let us know in the comments, what are some other work perks that ended up being work flops?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Power Talk. I hope it resonates. If you have a database that seems cold, try out these strategies and let us know how they go.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on all social media platforms.
Keep up with us and all of our hot takes on all things go-to-market operations. See you next time.